Whew. It is that time of the morning. Happy Wednesday is what I gotta say today. Happy Wednesday. It's a beautiful morning already. So that Wednesday morning. What can I say except gratitude. I like the the daylight is beginning to come out. The daylight is actually coming out, and it is time. What marathon am I on today? I think today might be number 90. Yes. As a matter of fact, I want to see how many I can get in before the end of the year. So I am just in the beautiful mode. Like I always say, that beautiful mood. Every day is a beautiful day. No matter what it is a beautiful day for me. Actually, looking to my right here, like that daylight actually coming out already. I got some cars flying by me. I always pick a different route because I like seeing different things. Happy Wednesday. I like seeing different things. So, and the thought that actually coming to my mind today again is meditation. I have meditated for years and practiced a lot of yoga. I do not know what it actually feels like to get up in the morning, to not stretch my body, then meditate. It is, if I do that, it means it feels as if I haven't eaten for the day, to actually just get up in the middle of the night. So I've been up since about 2:30 this morning. I like getting up at 2:22 because I like seeing that number 2:22. That's my favorite number. I love seeing it. I get to see it all day too. It always pop up, and the beautiful thing about it is when 2:22 p.m. comes up, boom, I see it. So I googled the meaning of it. So it has its own meaning. And I laugh a lot because through meditation, I have learned how to deal with reality, because it's just, and not only is the meditation involved, I begin to write to myself too, and write into myself. And I also realize that anytime I want to get rid of a habit that doesn't suit me, my brain is so unique. He knows how to ignore it. That way I will keep that emotion in. So every time I hear that voice that this is what I want to stop doing, when I do not write it down, I continue with that behavior pattern. But the moment I write it down, because writing it down is the hard part, because it means I'm getting out of my comfort zone. So the moment I write it down, that habit stops. So, and that's the whole thing about it, because I can laugh. I can really have a honest talk with myself. And I always say one thing. Look at that. Moon is still there. Look at it. That's the full moon. And I always say this, that in meditation, I've learned about reality, because the discipline that actually comes with it, absolutely amazing. And I always say to people, meditation doesn't have to be sitting down. You could be on your walk, on your jog. And the one thing that many of us do not want to do, I'm not saying run a marathon every day like I do, but as a being, 3 to 4 miles of meditative walking is just required, because that's how you function. Even the planet that I'm stepping on right now is in rotation. So 4 miles a day should be easy. But the truth is, many do not want to walk 4 miles a day, because by the time you reply to like 6 comments on Facebook or your social media, trust me, you will have walked 4 miles just like that. It depends on how you walk. 4 miles will literally take you 40 minutes. It might take you an hour. But those are the type of meditation that we refuse to practice. And that's where it all begins. Do you remember when you were a little baby? The daylight is coming out. And you started taking that steps. That's what it is. That's why we take those steps. So meditation really allows reality. You're able to do within yourself. For many that I'm around right now that knows me, I live a life of a gypsy. I just roll with life. Consciousness, I really went deep into it. The discipline that it takes. And I always say into my head that I admire money, because money gives comfort, and at the same time it gives delusion. So I like the comfort side of money, being able to do what you want to do. But the delusion part of it is the arrogancy, the knowing it all that many think they are. So, and in that concept, it has allowed me that I was in that stage too once upon a time. I literally thought everything was all about money. I thought everything is all about money. Money, money, money. That's just the way I was raised. I thought everything is money. Love is money. That's the way I was running. But when life presented me with an opportunity to see differently, I was mad at first. Mother biscuit. I was cussing, mother biscuit. But when I stood and stand still and begin to meditate, I come to realize that, wow, even though money is comforting, but there is something inside of me that money cannot buy. Absolutely amazing. That whether I like it or not, no matter how much I spend on myself, that emotion that I'm trying to tackle, understand, it's just priceless. And I mean really priceless. And it allows me to laugh a lot, because before I never understood the whole concept of people saying they don't care about material stuff. I would literally look at you like there's something wrong with your brain. Because I was what you call the real fashionist. I love clothes, I love shoes. That was my life. So to look back at it now, I'm just laughing my head up like, mother biscuit, what a waste. But I enjoyed it because I got to see both sides of it, and I've seen the ups in life, and I've seen what people call the lows. So it really just made me laugh. And that whole spiritual consciousness thing, I really take it to heart. I love it. I realize is what I'm really passionate about. I block everything out. And I always say to people, I say, look, my situation, I can go and play a scratch card or win a lottery tomorrow. That's it. But as far as seeking consciousness, as high as you want to see it, whether it's whatever religion you want to call it, a lot of people just will not reach that in this lifetime. It isn't a braggart out thing, but it's absolutely just that reality. Some of us, we talk about it partially, but to actually go deep into it, oh my biscuit. For me, I truly think I'm honored because I have learned through a lot of teachers. And meditation has also taught me to surrender. And that surrender meaning everybody is your teacher. There's not a person that I haven't learned from, whether they are mean or not mean. And I always I observe everything. And even though they're not realizing their teachers, they thinking, oh yeah, I'm better than you. Everything they taught me, I always go back and begin to practice it. And that's why when it comes to yoga, I've been to a lot of studios, sat with a lot of cowboy teachers, I say, but everything that they cuss about and talked about, I go home and practice it, even though they don't practice it. It's just, and that's the reason why I cannot really do religion anymore. Because in the same thing in the religious community, every book they've given to me, I went home and read it all. And I studied, and I was able to pick. Like, oh, this is just a story. This is a bunch of biscuit. So, and once you are at that stage, you laugh a lot about life. Life is so hilarious to me, especially this thing called money. Just crack me the biscuit up. Crack me the biscuit up. I was thinking the other day, I said, well, all I have to do is go and rent a nice car somewhere and go somewhere and start talking. I'll be like a guru. So, and I have to say this, I've learned so much from the feminine gods, I call it. I truly believe God is a woman. However you want to take it is okay with me, but to me, I came out of my mother, that's all I knew. No, he pushed me out. I came out of a she, so I think God is a woman, in my opinion. Whatever you want to think of it, it's all good. Because I get a lot of arguments, and that is just from a lot of reading, a lot of thinking. So in my opinion, the God is a woman. It's got to be a woman. Got to be a woman. Because the feminine endurance is what has allowed me to do all these miles that I put on my body. I mean, to run 26 miles a day. When I used to read about the Romans that lift things up and do 26 miles a day, I used to look like, what the biscuit? But to actually be able to do the same thing and just relax and just is absolutely amazing, because a marathon is not that much of a big deal. So today I'm going to, I got to get this thing on early because I got to be at my favorite office today. I'm going to work today, I call it. Look at that beautiful thing. So I got to make sure I'm done with this. Yeah. So I'm going to my favorite place today. So yes, meditation doesn't have to be you sitting down. It could be just, especially this time of the morning, just going out and lifting your feet up very slowly and just listening to nature. What people don't realize, you meditate every day, because people always tell me, I can't sit still. No, you can, because when you're eating, you have to sit still to a sense. You have, even when you are eating and driving, there's a certain focus that you have to put to be able to drive and at the same time eat. So if you can eat your food and drink a cup of water, you can meditate. You just don't realize it, because people always say, my attention span is this, my mind is this. No, it's because you don't want to slow it down. And I always say to people, trust me, if anything happens to you today and you are in that hospital bed looking into who I call Mr. and Mrs. Roof, you will meditate. Because at that moment, all the things in life that you think, oh, I'm busy, I just don't have time. At that moment, your leg is half broken and you're looking into that ceiling. A lot of thought will come into your head. And that's why when we go into hospitals, that's why we can heal ourselves. The doctors help us, but most of the time we healed ourselves. Because at that moment, we go into our own spiritual thoughts. We just begin to think more. Because that moment you realize how short life is. And it's one of the most spiritual moments that most of us will ever go through. And that's why we don't have to wait for a disaster before we start meditating. We don't have to wait for our legs or hands to be breaking before we start meditating. When we practice that sort of ideology all the time, it becomes part of who we are. So all that, I can't meditate stuff, is a bunch of excuses, because I don't care how fast your mind is. When you have a broken biscuit leg and you are laying in that bed sick, it doesn't matter how that mind is. And all you could do, you can't move nothing in your body, you will meditate. So that being said, let me continue, because meditation also keeps you young. And that's the reason why I'm looking young and fine. Let me put that thing on my because I meditate, I'm looking young and fine. I kept my high school skinny too. I see a lot of teenagers, they say, so how old are you? And when I tell them my head, they say, no. I said, no, I'm just not playing with that getting old biscuit. I kept my, my high school skinny. And it's really funny because a lot of people see me too, they think I'm a little kid. I'm like, hey, whatever. But it's one of those things. Just, that's what meditation does to you. It lowers your blood pressure. Everything is just lower when you meditate. Every single day. Every single day it has to be. And as you can see, I'm moving a little bit. So let me go ahead and say is it Wednesday today? Happy Wednesday, and get your meditation practice on. Right with your opposite hand. And one love.